In the kicking game, you said that the guys have worked, but have they worked in the stadium, or has it been just basically here?
Well, we've only been to the stadium once, which, it would have liked to have got up there maybe one other Saturday, but, mostly in here. We kicked, probably 14 or 15 times during last week's competition up at the stadium. So, they haven't been there probably as much as we'd like for them to. But at the same time, I looked in at Glick, and the posts were the same width and same height, and the hashes are in the same place. So, it really doesn't matter.
With elements, though, being outside, stuff that's not.
Well, I think it becomes a difference depending on, how much wind and where the wind's from and those kind of things. But, as far as the mechanics of where that plant foot's going to be and how you're going to swing your leg through, that's got to be consistent.
When you do situational kicking, put them at the 30 and 35?
Well, hopefully they'll be in some of those situations because of where we're moving the ball and doing those things. If not, at the end, we'll take some time to do some kicks live and see how they handle it.
Coach, you mentioned there's 4 guys in the mix. Can you just run us through who those guys are?
Yeah, I can. Brandon's one of them. Jeremy Ross is one of them. Seth and Pulaski. I mean, all those guys, and I can't tell you who's where. We chart everything every day, and at the end of spring, we'll look at it a little bit and, see the accuracy, see the mechanics of snap to kick, and all those things.
And Weil gets a chance to compete for that when he gets.
Oh, sure. Every freshman's got a chance to compete. The opportunity's there.
How long will the scrum be? Will it be like an hour running clock, or will we?
It will go until I think we've got enough plays.
Talked about some of the guys on the offensive line and how they've been shuffled around all spring long. How have you liked the versatility out of those guys so far?
Well, I think that's important. I think it's something that they've adjusted well and they've done a good job with. I think, like I said, Ricky probably is the guy who's adjusted the most from guard out to tackle and then back into guard. And, he's handled it well and done a good job. Patrick has been out a little bit at right tackle, but his more, and I think the same can be said of Ricky, the more fitting positions are at the guards for him.
Have you been able to work on the kick return game this spring?
We didn't do, besides some specialist things, catching balls and doing that stuff, we've worked a little bit on the kickoff return as far as the front line and some drill work to see who can sink their hips, who can get back and retreat the way you want them to and get on guys. We've done some of that. Most of the kicking game, though, has been in the field goal and extra point department and the punt.
Can you talk about the running game and who's emerging?
Well, I think Hopkins right now is a guy who, has been probably the most consistent. I think, Fitz Toussaint, I think he's done a pretty good job. I think, Mike missed a little bit of early stuff. And so he hadn't had as many reps, but I would say Hopkins probably as much as anybody.
Coach, during the show on Monday, you talked about the big back system you used at San Diego State. Can you just elaborate on what you had in mind for Hopkins in terms of
Well, and I think, the question was coming off of doing some split back stuff with him in there as a lead back, and we played him some at fullback from the eye this spring because he hits the hole maybe a little quicker from that position. And not that he's not doing a good job from the eye back, but, we've got to see we've got to use every conceivable weapon that we have, if you want to call it that, to make us a better football team. And if it's putting him in there as a fullback some and doing those things, then we'll do it.